Hi guys, in this video today I'm going to show you how to draw a face. So what you will need is a piece of paper, pencil, rubber, ruler and of course lots of patience. So step 1, the first thing you need to do is draw yourself an oval shape like this. So as you can see it's slightly pointed at the bottom to show the chin and the jawline. If you can't do that, just draw yourself an oval shape and that'll be absolutely fine. Okay, so pause the video, get that done. The next thing you need to do is to draw a cross for your oval shape. So you've got to draw a lengthways line that goes right down through the middle, and the next one that goes through the middle here, so that you've got this cross point that's right in the center of your face. And this is the line the eyes will sit on. Okay, so once you've done that, pause the video if you need to. Once you've done that, you're going to draw another line that's going to sit in the middle of this line and the bottom of your chin here. You're going to draw another straight line that goes across, and that is going to be where your nose, the bottom of your nose is going to be. Okay, so pause the video, get those lines drawn, use your ruler so they're nice and straight. You can see that I've done mine quite hard actually. So if you do yours faint, and then that way it's easier to rub out at the end. So the final line you're going to draw is going to be where your lips will be. So you've got this line that we've just drawn, and then the bottom of your chin. So not quite in the middle, a little bit up, probably about an inch away from this line. You're going to draw another straight line, and that is going to be where your lips will be. So pause the video, make sure that you have those lines drawn, and then we'll go on to the eyes. So your eyes, like I said before, they are going to sit on this line here. Now you don't want to start them right in the middle. You want to give yourself some space, and you want it to be quite equal on either side. So first thing you want to do is give yourself a bit of space, about an inch. Draw your eye shape, which is an almond shape. And then what you want to do is use your fingers to kind of measure the length and put that there. You want to have the same size between the eyes. So you want it to be the length of the eye that you've drawn, and then draw your other eye. Okay? So they want to be equal distance away from this line. Don't panic if you don't get it perfectly symmetrical. Nobody's eyes look perfectly symmetrical, so that's absolutely fine. If you need to draw a line going across here and here so that they're a more similar width, do that. That can be really helpful. And be patient with yourself. You might have to do it a couple of times. Okay, so just pause the video, get your eyes drawn, and then we'll go on to the next part. Right, so the next part, you are going to draw your nose, and you're going to draw the sort of bridge of your nose. So that is the lines going down. And as you can see, you're drawing it sort of in between this line and the corner of your eye, and it's going to curve around this bit and then go down in a sort of diagonal line. So your nose isn't dead straight, it doesn't go down dead straight. So this curves around and goes down. So get that drawn, pause the video if you need to, and then we'll go on to the next bit, which is the bottom of the nose. So this line here, this shows us where the bottom of the nose goes, where your nostrils are. And to draw your nostrils, you need to draw yourself a sort of V shape here. And it kind of looks like a bird flapping its wings a little bit. And then next to that, you want to draw a C on either side that starts sort of just below your nostril there and then meets this line here. Okay, and you do that on either side. And don't worry if it takes you a few goes. It took me about 3 times to draw this nose, so don't panic if you need to do it again. That's what you've got your rubber there for. So just pause your video and get that nose drawn. Give yourself a lot of time if you need it. It's up to you how long it takes you. You can just pause it whenever you need to. Okay, so next thing we'll look at is the lips. Right, so to help you to draw the lips, you can draw some extra lines. So what I have done is right in the middle of the eye that you've drawn, on either side, you're going to draw a line down using your ruler, and this will show you where the corner of your mouth is going to go. And then on this line that we've drawn across, you are going to draw the line that is going to be the middle of your mouth, so where your mouth opens, okay? And as you can see, it's not a dead straight line. It goes up and down and up again, so it curves. And where it goes down, it's right on that, where the line going down crosses through this line going across, okay? Because you know that your lips aren't completely straight across. And then it curves up a bit to show, you can show that she's smiling, or that, you know, I've done mine a little bit grumpy, and that's fine. So pause your video, get that line done, and then we'll move on to the rest of the lips. Right, so here are the rest of your lips. So I've done the top lip, the line goes up diagonally and then it dips down just where it dips in this middle bit here. So you can just sort of copy it and then go down again, meeting not all the way at the edge, but just about, so you've got that sort of corner curve. And then your bottom lip is nice and easy. You've just got a nice curved line here, and you don't even need to join it up for it to look like lips. Okay, so pause your video and have a go at drawing this top lip and bottom lip, and then we'll move on to the eyebrows. Right, so your eyebrows, so what you've got here is they just carry on from this that we've already drawn, so it goes around the eye, and all you need to do is draw a line that sort of follows across the eye and goes down a little bit there, because that's the arch of your eyebrow, so where it sort of curves, and then you add the rest of it to make it nice and thick, because you don't want really thin eyebrows, and that'll give it the nice shape. And you see that it sort of tapers off at the end, so it goes more narrow at this bit. You don't want it to be all the same size, okay? And then you do that the same on the other side. Again, don't panic if they're not exactly the same, because nobody's eyebrows look exactly the same, and one might be a bit higher than the other. And then just make sure that it's longer than the eye, okay? You don't want it to just be a really short eyebrow here. You want it a bit longer. All right, so pause your video, get your eyebrow drawn, and then we'll move on to the next bit. Right, so our next part is to draw the ears. So here I've got quite a lot of detail in the ears. Don't worry about that, but if you can't get the detail down, just get the shape of it. So the top of your ear is where your eye is, so just about the middle of your eye, and the bottom of your ear sits on this line that lines up with the bottom of your nose, and that's the same with your actual face. And then the way to draw it is you're going to draw a sort of C shape that goes all the way down here, and if you want to add that more detail, you can make it a little bit wiggly so it looks a bit more natural, or you can just keep it as a C shape, but you don't want to have it coming all the way out. You want it to be kind of a bit of a squashed C. And then if you want to have a go at the details, go right ahead. If not, don't worry about it, okay? So pause your video and then we'll go on to the inside of the eye. Right, so the next bit's nice and easy. You're just going to draw 2 circles. So you've got a larger circle here for your iris, the bit that's coloured, and then a smaller circle for your pupil, and then the same on the other side, okay? And you can see the circle, it doesn't quite finish here. So if you want to, you can just draw a circle, and anything that comes outside of the eye, you can just rub out later, okay? So pause your video. Get your eyes, your iris and your pupil drawn, and then we'll have a look at doing the hair. Right, so next step is to add some hairs so that she is not just bald. So what I've done is I've added a nice simple fringe that tucks behind her ears. You can either do it in the middle or from the side. I just chose to do it from the side because I like that style. And then when you draw the rest of the hair, you are not going to draw it right next to this head that you've drawn. Otherwise, it's going to look really strange. You want to leave a gap at least an inch, maybe a bit more. And then just follow around the line that you've drawn. And then here I've just done a really simple straight style. If you want to do curly, all you do is do a wiggly line that goes down, okay? And that will give you the hair. I won't look at boy hair today just because it's a little bit more difficult. But if you want to have a go at that, you can always Google and have a look at some images to help you do that. So pause your video, get your hair drawn. And it comes just above the eyebrows here, doesn't it? Yeah. Right, so the next thing that I have done is I've rubbed out my guidelines. Now this is a bit tricky because everything you've drawn is in pencil, so you have to just be careful not to rub out what you've already drawn on the face. Don't panic if you do, you can just redraw it, but that is why you need to do your lines quite faintly, because I've done it quite hard and you can still see it there, but it's fine if you can. Don't worry about it too much. This is just a nice practice for you to do. Okay, so pause your video. And rub out those guidelines, and then you can see that I've added some detail, so on the next slide it'll be a close-up and that will show you the detail that I've added. Okay, right, so here is a close-up of the eyes, and as you can see what I've done is I've added a extra line underneath the bottom, and then another line on here that shows the eyelid, so it follows it up and then it goes a little bit wider and it doesn't join back up. And that shows your eyelid there. And then around the iris, I've done a slightly darker line around. I've coloured in the pupil black. And then I have done these lines going around to show my iris. Now, it's up to you if you want to add these details. You don't have to if you don't want to. It just gives the eye a little bit more character. And then I've added in some eyelashes as well, and they sort of flick up. You don't want to do straight lines going right out. You want to sort of curve them around like that. So shorter and less here, and then longer and a few more here, and then quite short around the bottom. But can you see they're curved, they're not straight. So pause your video, have a go at adding some detail to your eyes, and then I'll show you a close-up of the nose and mouth so you can check that you've got yours right. So here you've got the nose and the mouth. So if you want to pause the video here and just have a look at them and just see if you are happy with the ones that you've drawn. If not, you can use this as a reference to help you draw it correctly. Again, have a look at Google Images. That can be really helpful to show different styles of nose and mouth. Okay. Right, so here is just the last step. So we've rubbed out all of the guidelines. You can still see a few because it's a little bit difficult to get into those eyes there, and that's absolutely fine. And then what you can do is you could go over this in a fine liner, and then it's even easier to rub out all the pencil. But remember what I say, if you do a fine liner, wait at least 5 minutes for it to dry before you rub anything out. Okay, and then we'll have a look at the final piece where I've added a few more details that you might want to add. Right, so finally what I have added here, I have added some texture into the eyebrows. So what I've done is I've literally just drawn lines all the way through this shape. Not straight lines, they're sort of diagonal and they follow it round. And then for the hair, I've also drawn lines, and it's just following the lines that I've drawn here, just to give it some texture. So you can either do that, draw your lines in, or you can actually just colour it in. The eyebrows and the hair, it's completely up to you, or you could just leave it how we had it before. That would be just fine as well. It's just to show you how to correctly draw the features and where on the face, and then this can just be extra detail that you want. And I've just added the end of the hair there, and you can see I've drawn in her neck. So the neck is drawn just where you can still see it a little bit, just where the line was for the lips. I've started my neck and I've drawn it down. It's not a dead straight line, it's sort of curved around here. And then I've added a little bit more shape around her jawline. So there's a little bit of a kind of corner there, and it is a bit more diagonal there. But don't panic if you don't want to add those bits, just leave it how you had it before. So that is how to draw a face and where to put the facial features. What I'd like you to do is take a picture of your final piece and send it to Mr. Kerman, or just bring it into school when we're back, okay? I hope you've enjoyed the lesson, and I can't wait to see the final pieces that you show Mr. Kerman or that you bring in. All right, see you guys later.